As long as there's voices in my head saying, "Help us, Lord. We need world peace now." As long as there's big prayer groups getting together saying, "Help us, Lord," I'm going to get on here and I'm going to talk. I'm going to talk, right? I'm sitting here watching The Rifleman with Chris Connors, otherwise known as Chuck Connors, formerly a backup forward for the Boston Celtics. Yeah, no way. Yeah, did you guys know that? That Chris Connors, Chuck Connors, used to play, and he plays Geronimo, right? You're like, I had no idea Geronimo was 6'6". I thought he was closer to 5'4". He was closer to 5'4" than he was to 6'6". It's just that his face, if you color and paint and put black hair on him, oh, he's got kind of a Geronimo look there. Geronimo, he's got kind of a Jack Palance Toriano look to him. Yeah, he did. Okay, but Geronimo wasn't 6'6". Okay. Hell, I don't think Wes Studi's 5'4". Joseph Running Fox, he might be close to 5'4". He plays Geronimo when he was without cause, right? You understand? You know who Joseph Running Fox is? You know, Joe Lee Porton's daddy. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So, okay, but guys, okay, is it ever safe to assume? You know how they say that when you're in the court of law? Is it safe to assume that? We're not living the Lord's Prayer. Right? Then it's not safe to assume that you won't go to sleep and wake up dead on sleeping under a table in a roadside park, right? But why are you in a table in a roadside park if you're living the Lord's Prayer? Right. But if you almost hit a bear and you've got gold, you're safe because you got your gold. And if everybody else is running out of money and then people start killing people for money, you're completely safe with your gold. Are you going to get your gold to and fro to the store to the get to the? Oh wait, yeah, you guys didn't think that stuff too good, did you? There was once a place they called Deutschland, called Germany there. And after the World War Ones, they got together in a convention in a place like Geneva or something and said, "Hey, you guys started the war. You're the bad guys. You're going to pay for the war there." Okay. And it got so bad in Germany that all the rich families in Germany they had to start putting all their money in a wheelbarrow to go to the store to pay for their groceries, right? And then it got so bad they had to have their daughters have sex with people that had foreign assets for money to pay us their bills. It's just there. And it says, like the car seal fellow, you're either the pimps or the hose there. You're either the hose or the pimp stage. Because we don't know how to live the Lord's Prayer. Stop and care. Defecate in your underwear. You got money for that underwear? Do you see what I'm saying? So you're like sitting there going, but guys, we haven't learned. The funny thing is the people studying me that are supposed to be the greatest brains in the history of the world and the greatest scientists and problem solvers with science in the history of the world that led up to the greatest scientists in the history of the world that are solving all our problems right now with technology in the history of the world, the best time in history to be alive because we have IBM Watson and other computers to make sure that we're so much smarter than we used to be in so much better conditions than we used to be when we were World War One'sing it and World War Two'sing it and Vietnam War'sing it and Desert Still'ing it and you know what I'm saying is it? And so you're like sitting there and they have conversations of me talking to my fiance, please come to Cumberland County. We can make it. Just miss you and want to wake up every morning with you next to me in my arms as much as humanly possible because I love every minute with you. Okay. And I told her, I said, Law, just come out here. There's plenty of medical jobs. We can have a safe. It would have worked out? No, it wouldn't have worked out. No, not in the conditions that we were in. I would have left town on assignment. They would have sent me out on assignments all the time. There were a lot of hot leg lifting, sorry ass Army officers, and Law would have screwed around on me. She was already screwing around on me in Phoenix. Okay. That's because she was just raised that way by her mom. If you can do it, if he can do it, you can do it too. Don't volunteer information. Don't ask, don't tell. I was like, no, that's not my idea of marriage. Okay. I wouldn't kill anybody if I got home and found her in bed with another man. No. I'd want to, and I'd feel like it. Okay. But I probably wouldn't. That night when Amy is, that was pretty bad. That was with a bunch of macho assholes that were really trying to undermine it was pretty bad. Okay. But if I came home and caught Law off an Army officer when I was out of town, came back and went, oh, this sucks. Just look at her and say, well, you were right. I shouldn't have brought you out here. Bye. Okay. And then just left. Because I'm that type of guy, you know. But when you're trying to take my job and take my kids and take what I need for my kids, yeah, I get to the point where I could literally kill people. Like I told the people that were all pissed off at the cops in Sheridan when we moved there. You know, with the new mayor came in and took away all their medical benefits, all the cops and the police and the sheriff's department. And all these people were talking, the cops are every time they pull you over, they harass you and stuff. And I understand that. That's their job. You guys are idiots. You're philanthropists. But they had a lieutenant in the police department at a city get-together, and the mayor left drunk. So the lieutenant called and said, hey, he just left drunk. Pop his ass. Right? And everybody in town was, oh, it's not fair to do that to the mayor. It's like, if you took my kids' medical benefits away and I couldn't have a way to take care of Emily's asthma, okay, or Noah's health conditions, okay, I'd take you out behind a woodshed and beat you within an inch of your life till you gave those medical benefits back, right? Okay. That's what I told the locals. You know, I was like, no, he's wrong, and they're more correct. Okay, it's safe to assume that they were more correct and that he was more incorrect, right? They put their lives on the line to serve the community, to picture philanthropy interest in your sorry ass bullshit, and then you turn around and fuck them. Okay. That's wrong, right? Okay. So it's safe to assume we're still gonna fuck or be fucked, like Ice-T's imagination, as long as we're not living the Lord's Prayer, right? But it's safe to assume when we're living the Lord's Prayer that when you fall asleep on that bed over there and take a nap, everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be a lot safer, a lot better, and a lot healthier. Okay. It's safe to assume when we're living the Lord's Prayer that I'm not going to wake up and hear a Harley Davidson that wakes me up at 2 o'clock in the morning, right? And wake up and hear pesticides whirling at 6 o'clock in the morning because we're cash cropping and I'm going to feel sick again, right? Have to wash the house down and everything again, right? So it's safe to assume that we're going to live in a healthier world, a better world, and a more compassionate, intelligent, loving world when we are living the Lord's Prayer than when we are not living the Lord's Prayer, right? To be or not to be, that is the question, right? And Tartuffe, right? So you guys get it? All right. You have to really, really understand, regardless of how egotistical you think I am and how anonymous you think you have me, okay, that technology gets better here, and I'm not an arrogant, cocky son of a bitch. And no matter how much control you think you have of the technology, all right, you don't even have control of yourself. You hate each other, you want to beat each other, and you want to kill each other. Okay. You have the technology in place to protect you from getting killed by the other person that wants to kill you, to be the HNIC, right? Okay, so the only way to save ourselves from these conditions, Mr. Clark, is that in school we no longer teach philanthropy. We teach the faith of Psalms and the wisdom of Proverbs. Okay. That's forcing your religion down my throat. You forced philanthropy down mine. I got the tooth rotted out to prove it. And the cancer cells rapidly reproducing from your legalese that say it's okay through economics to poison the Messiah to death, who just wanted to give you the Lord's Prayer, the heart of Psalms, the seed of Proverbs, and save the ecosystem from genocidal operations over philanthropy. Okay? I'm more than certain, I'm not fairly certain, and I think it's safe to assume, okay, that I am the source of the living correction for artificial intelligence so it can reflect actual intelligence. Wouldn't you say so? So is it ever safe to assume? Yes, in situations that are truthful and safe. But if we're not in truthful and safe situations, then it's not safe to assume. And there is, for imprint certain, what are you certain about? That you're stuck in philanthropy, you're fucked, and you're going to fuck yourselves to death in philanthropy tomorrow? Are you for imprint certain? Okay. Is it safe to assume that we're not safe from ourselves when we're not living the truth of the Lord's Prayer and sharing it worldwide? Okay. Artificial intelligence, okay, can become actually intelligent when there is someone actually intelligent thinking and speaking and then acting on those thoughts and words with a cell phone in his hand. En los estados unidos. Today, while the berries still cling to the vine, I'll eat your sweet berries, I'll drink your sweet wine. Ere I forget all the love that I have today, right? You want the love of the Lord's Prayer, don't you? Don't you love your children? Don't you love one another? Okay. It applies perfectly in physics to save us from genocide through bad brain activity. Okay. It's not only good religion, it's good science. Okay? Only you can't be kind with money, but you can be kind with religion. Okay? And that's scientifically valid. Right? Odelay. Okay. Okay, so that's nice. It's nice. Okay. We'll talk later. Okay. 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 We'll talk later. You're obnoxious. Hell, I know that. You haven't figured that out yet? Okay, guys, I love you. All right, peace.